So kudos, because when the president was swearing in the new ministers, he made mention of something, and it says the service burden of the nation has been reduced. That's a debt servicing burden from 97% to 65%, and this and then he was saying that this is he was speaking against the backdrop of the subsidy removal of the policy on fuel. So now he is, well, that's more or less like they're giving themselves kudos. So
definitely, it's just like the proverbial Agama lizard that dropped from a Iroko tree and looked around to the left and to the right and said, if nobody praises me, I'm going to praise myself. You see, you cannot be praising yourself when the reality on ground suggests otherwise.
Okay.
For example, they are rolling out the statistics of the percentage through the percentage of the nation's budget they use to service loan. Whether foreign, they said foreign and local loan. Let's put it in perspective.
Okay.
The 97% of the service they use to service the debt that they are talking about, how much is it in figure? Now they said it has dropped to 65%. How much is it in figure?
Yes.
Are you now telling us that Nigerians are not being suffered perpetually for that thing to happen? And what is Nigeria or Nigerians are getting as value in return from that drop in the statistics they just gave to us? Because if you borrow in dollar, you are going to pay in dollar, but you have devalued naira, and that is why that gap is as obvious as it is. Nigerians are suffering. You are paying in dollar. Nigeria naira has been devalued, and yet we run dollar economy. Yet you still go borrow of all of the success story they are bringing to the table. It's not there. For example, it also spoke about implementation of minimum wage across board. I want to say that it's a big lie from the pit of hell.
Okay, Mr. Joel, let's not elaborate this. Mr. Joel, let's not elaborate this, because this will actually take more of our time, because we still have another story in Kwara State we need to cover. Now, Doyin Okukpe affirmed to this, and that's the former Director General of Peter Obi's presidential campaign. That was in the year 2023. This was someone who was backing up Peter Obi, and now he has turned against him, and he said something. Well, I would not want to say with my own mouth. I want us to listen to it while he says it.
Suddenly change your mind.
I didn't change my mind.
You became a firmer believer now.
When I came out,
your political standpoint.
No, sir. When I came, everybody go and check my Twitter space on the 21st of March, 2022. I said if Bola Tinubu wins the nomination of the APC, he's going to do well. I said that.
Do you think he's doing well right now?
He's doing exceedingly well, and he's going to do much, much better. You know.
All right, so he said it. That's why I said I don't want to say it with my own mouth. Let him say it himself. So Doyin Okukpe says he's doing exceedingly, not just well, exceedingly well. And what would be your take on this? And not just that, because I want to take two questions in one. What would be your take on the fact that he said he's doing exceedingly well? And again, he mentioned the fact that, okay, I'm trying to figure if his take on this is being tribalistic. Because at some point in time, he said he left Peter Obi. He said he does not regret being with him, but then he's not with him anymore. Let's listen again to this.
When it becomes, a zonal matter, I mean, when you take entire Yoruba race, you call them out. I'm an elder statesman, and primarily, first and foremost, a Yoruba man. If I cannot speak the truth at my age, then there's no point to live. What Peter Obi said was wrong. To say that a Milokon, they should now ask people in Ogun State whether they are buying bread. When Bola Tinubu said a Milokon, he was not addressing the statement. It insults us. I was a Yoruba man.
Okay, let me cut it short there because it's quite long. He said, when Obi said that.
You see, before I go to the last clip, the first one.
Okay.
If I could get that clip very well, he said on his Twitter space in 2022, he said if Tinubu gets the ticket, he's going to do exceedingly well. In fact, for that singular reason, whatever Doyin Okukpe is saying now should not be taken seriously, and his personality and integrity is at stake. It was after Tinubu won that ticket in his party that you became the spokesperson to somebody else. And you're now referring to what happened before you became a spokesperson to an opposition to the person you said is going to do exceedingly well. And this interview came, I like Shane Okimalo, I watched this program yesterday. This interview came after he visited Aso Rock.
Exactly.
You cannot visit Aso Rock and return the same. The story will change. The story will definitely change. Those who can visit Aso Rock and return the same in their mind and in their reasoning are those who probably were former presidents, because they once sat as the chief executive of Aso Rock. But if you have never sat as chief executive of Aso Rock, I can tell you conveniently about 95% of those who visit Aso Rock and return, they have their memory formatted. And that is why you see when they return, what they will be saying will no longer be in tandem with what you used them, what you used to know about them. Don Okupe, as a respected person, a Yoruba man that he said he was. I don't know whether he's still Yoruba man, but in that he said he was a Yoruba man, but I don't know whether he's still a Yoruba man as we speak. Those people who supported Tinubu on the basis of tribe, today I can conveniently tell you, only few of them have the courage to come out to say it. They are seriously regretting it because they thought he has the magic word in his hand to turn around the economy.
But would you say he's been tribalistic with what he said?
Into this, even when I knew nothing about Christianity. So if I am not supporting you on the basis of things that were chosen for me either by my parents or by God himself, then something is wrong with him, because this has nothing to do with religion, it has nothing to do with tribe, it has to do with competence and capacity. And the fact that you have administered a state before is not enough a reason why you should be campaigned for, you should be supported. Rather, what are you bringing to the table?
Let's take reaction at this point in time, because we still have a third story and we have less than 10 minutes.
I'm not praising or, not praising that.
Okay.
But at least we have no opposition party now. We have an opposition individual. When you praise the Boalas and Macri, they are seeking for appointment. If Atiku is speaking, no matter how bad it is, at least this government is having challenge from somebody. And I praise him for that. That's all I praise him for.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
I had thought, my name is Yemi Asaju.
All right, you're welcome.
I had thought that you have forgotten that callers are also part of this program.
Oh.
You have locked us out for too long.
Oh, we're so sorry about that.
Okay. You see, Jungle Justice is a hydra-headed monster that has lived with us for years without any clear-cut idea on how to address it. You see, Jungle Justice is well related to religion. Can any legislation address it? It's a question that we continually beg for answers. Laws are not our problems, but compliance, judicial and administrative rascality. You see, our attitude as Nigerians is antithetical to the rule of law. Then as for Atiku, I don't know how long it will take him to recover.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. What's your name, sir?
This is Joshua calling from Gakambi.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. I want to comment on what Okubo said now.
Okay.
We Nigeria, we are not surprised because the nature of Nigerian politicians. They always say something that will bring benefit to them. It's not as if he's saying it to the benefit of Nigeria. He's saying it for his own selfish interest. He's a psychophant. Well, he said it, but
Kwara State government. But then, well, let's go on this very short second time out. All right, you're welcome back. You're still on Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilori. And right now, let me take the reaction of Mr. Joel to our last story in a few seconds because we need to step out of the studio at it with Mr. Adeyanju when the organized labor were clamoring on demanding for immediate reversal of the new tax regime imposed on workers. Now, in few minutes, let's say in 1 minute, so we can take one more reaction.
Let me quickly do that.
Do you think this is a response to the organized labor? And then what is your view about this 3 months?
I don't want to say it's a response to organized labor's demand, because there are two things involved here. We have the pay as you earn, the tax that is deductible by the state, and it's the responsibility of all workers, and this is deducted from the source. All of these things also have been factored into it, if at all any negotiation for the implementation of minimum wage and consequential adjustment between government and labor actually took place. And I also heard from an unconfirmed source about election on the principle of the autonomy of local government. Right. So now talking for local government again, I think has totally negated the principle upon which the last local government election was conducted. I think the chairman of local government should come out and be telling us all of this. Concentrate on the state, face it, and let's move on from there.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on Diamond Breakfast Show. I was just about to ask you about the US, but our time is fast spent and I would not be able to do that anymore. Do join my colleague tomorrow. We're going to speak further on issues that affect us all in Nigeria.